Q2, code red, no more.
It allows the county government and the city government to use it more efficiently to send messages, emergent and non-emergent.
The alarm sounds on Billings' emergency alert system will reveal the new plan now in place. Plus,
I'm Alina Howder. This high-tech food scale could help reduce food waste here at School District 2. We'll tell you more coming up.
And Montana actress Lily Gladstone makes history once again. The latest details as she continues to take Hollywood by storm. The MTN 4:30 news starts right now. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday. I'm Andrea Lutz. Yellowstone County has gone to a new emergency alert system for 2024. That old system, known as Code Red, never really caught on in Yellowstone County, even though it's used in many other cities across the country. Our David J. takes a look at the reasons why and what the new system hopes to accomplish.
Yellowstone County has gone to a new emergency alert system. Everbridge costs about the same as Code Red, $30,000 a year, and the DES director says the new system has much more potential.
When emergencies happen at Billings Clinic, this is the technology used to help coordinate the response, a system called Everbridge.
They can call in their staff with a quick message saying, hey, we need some help, this is going on, who can come in?
The hospital has been using the system since the fall of 2022, a way to alert staff.
It works through that list pretty quickly, so people are getting it within a matter of minutes of you hitting send on that message.
And the reach is expanding. On January 1st, Yellowstone County made the shift to Everbridge to alert emergency responders.
We use it almost exclusively to send out emergency alerts.
A departure from our previous and widely underused system called Code Red.
Even if you had Code Red over the last 5 years, it's very possible that you never got an emergency alert because you weren't in the area that was affected by an emergency.
K.C. Williams is the Yellowstone County Disaster and Emergency Services Director. He says a variety of reasons led to the Code Red alert system never really catching on in Yellowstone County. In 2022, the app had about 16,000 users. Williams says the system was never advertised properly, something the county hopes to rectify with the rollout of Everbridge. He also says the software was sometimes difficult to use.
We found that it would be easier if we had a better user interface that was more intuitive, that was easier to use.
St. Vincent Healthcare also uses Everbridge, and the city and School District 2 have plans to implement the system soon. A tool being used to save lives here in Yellowstone County and beyond.
We just want to make sure that we're using it responsibly and thoughtfully, so we're not inundating people with messages, but we're also getting them the important ones when it matters.
Still, I'm a fan of Code Red. Between the two of them, you should be covered for the majority of the places you go in the United States.
In Billings, David J., MTN News.
In a late night vote, the Billings School Board says they can keep a book in the high school libraries. It sparked some controversy, though, in Montana and beyond. The 5-4 decision to not ban the book, Assassination Classroom, came after hours of public comment where many spoke out in favor of the book despite being banned in Laurel and in classrooms across the U.S. for its depiction of gun violence toward teachers. As supporters argue the book contains several positive messages and argue banning it would create a slippery slope. The process began in October with a parent asking for that book to be removed.
What tonight are we inspiring? What are we empowering? What are we educating? Do we really believe that students in Montana are too fragile and that they need books to be banned? Do we really believe that parents in Montana are incapable of parenting? Are we really that fragile?
Oh, the state's top education official now weighing in, criticizing the local school board's decision. Elsie Arntzen, of course, releasing this statement today, saying in part, I was hopeful that these trustees would reflect the decision Laurel trustees made to protect our children from obscene materials. It's a misuse of precious taxpayer dollars to provide books with depictions of graphic violence and sexual content for our children. School District 2 is also deploying new technology as the district aims to cut down on food waste. It is a problem that many say has grown over the years, with nearly a quarter of food never being eaten. Our Alina Howder reports.
This high-tech food scale is the latest addition to Castle Rock Middle School's kitchen. It's all part of School District 2's plan to reduce food waste, as 20% of food in the district goes to the landfill each year.
I like the simple things, vanilla, things like that.
It's always a good day for 11-year-old Emily Shmimoto when pizza's on the menu.
I usually bring a little extra just in case I am hungry, so most of the time I don't finish all of it.
And Emily, of course, isn't alone.
I love the pizza. Their apples are also really good.
But other foods on the school menu do receive what you might say is a little less love.
Personally, I think I waste like a lot of fruits that I get. Like I feel like everybody does once in a while. Like you're not going to get away from it.
While Aniva is right, that's something School District 2 is trying to get away from.
This is just an opportunity that came along to us, and we wanted to jump on top of it and say, you know, let's get some more high-tech information. Let's get some better statistics to making big change.
That high-tech information comes from this high-tech scale at Castle Rock Middle School.
And it'll calculate what kind of, like how much it's going to cost the system, what the impact is going to be.
The goal? Reduce food waste.
These are really soft apples.
By weighing the excess food at the end of each lunch, School District 2 can track exactly what's being tossed in the trash.
There's some tools that show like the environmental impact. We're piloting at Castle Rock because this machine is extremely expensive. We're hoping that as our waste goes down and we're saving some money, that we can buy more.
The machine costs $5,000 alone, but 13-year-old Hadley Mosser thinks it's a great investment.
I think that's really good. It's going to help the environment a lot. There's a lot of kids that could use the extra food that we waste.
And it's helping these middle schoolers be a little bit more mindful when deciding what to eat.
Once you've touched it and once you've done with that, you can't give it to someone else to eat. Like you've already contaminated it, so you might as well just get what you're going to eat.
In Billings, Alina Howder, MTN News.
A Helena man pled guilty to falsely claiming military service in order to obtain health care benefits from the VA. 66-year-old Patrick McKenna claimed he served in the Navy until 1984. Well, the VA approved the application and McKenna received counseling services. However, no one could find record of his service. Then in an interview, McKenna admitted he didn't serve in the Navy and applied for benefits because the high cost of private health care. Officials say the VA lost $46,000 and McKenna is being ordered to pay it all back.
Not quite done with the fog yet, especially into the eastern plains. And even though it doesn't look to be quite as dense tonight, we could see another round even tomorrow evening. But beyond that, we're talking about how warm will it get. We'll see a little bit of snow for the mountains. The dry forecast will remain for the rest of the region over the course of the rest of the week. But by next week, it's trending even warmer. Could a few places reach 60 degrees? We'll take a closer look at the forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Governor Greg Gianforte and 15 other governors are asking the Biden administration to put an end to the electric vehicle mandate, which calls for 2 out of every 3 vehicles to be battery electric by 2032. According to the governors, they don't oppose the EVs, but do say that the mandate is unrealistic and doesn't reflect what consumers want. They also say the lack of infrastructure to support the mandate and issues with EV affordability. Over in Bozeman, urban camping is on the decline ever since an ordinance forcing people to move their vehicles and RVs every 30 days went into effect. According to the city, in August, there were 237 people camping on city streets in Bozeman. In December, 193. And according to the HRDC, there's only 150 urban campers left today. As MTN's Jolie Salee reports, one of those campers, a young mother and her baby, now have a safe, warm place to live, thanks to a city official and a local nonprofit.
Living in a car with her infant, who definitely did not want to be in a car with her infant.
Before the cold snap, Assistant City Manager Chuck Wynn and Family Promise Director of Family Services Carrie Gilbertson went out to knock on urban campers' doors to offer help. That's when they came across a handful of families. One of them, an 18-year-old girl.
That's difficult, especially with the temperatures that we saw last week or the week before.
Luckily, Family Promise was able to take the young woman and her baby in.
At the time, it was about to get cold, so I was really thankful for the city of Bozeman to be doing those sort of checks.
We try to get out on the street as often as we can. Right now, it's a couple times a week, but we hope to strengthen that and to get out there more.
Wynn says they've seen a lot of changes since the ordinance went into effect, and it's easy to notice. Less trash on the streets, few abandoned vehicles, and way fewer RVs.
It's a different circumstance for everybody. Some of them went to private property. Some of them just left Bozeman to warmer climate. Are we there where we want to be? No. But are we making important progress? I would say we are. We're building the relationships with the folks, trying to help them understand why this ordinance has been put into effect, why it's important for them and why it's important for the community. And I think we have a lot of stories of success out there.
As for the young woman and her baby, they are living in housing provided by Family Promise. In Bozeman, Jolie Salee, MTN News.
After making history earlier this month for being the first Native American to win a Golden Globe for Best Actress in a drama, Lily Gladstone has done it again. Gladstone, a member of the Blackfeet Nation, is now the first Native American woman to be nominated for Best Actress at an Academy Awards. And Gladstone is receiving critical acclaim for her role in Martin Scorsese's film Killers of the Flower Moon. She is a graduate at the University of Montana in Missoula. Gladstone's nomination is, of course, a delight today for many Montanans. And here's Danya Bacchus with more on this one for Lily and other Oscar announcements.
Congratulations to this year's nominees.
Actors Jack Quaid and Zazie Beetz announced the nominations Tuesday, and Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer led the pack with 13, including Best Picture and Best Director.
Why are these men looking at me?
The other half of the Barbenheimer phenomenon, Barbie, racked up 8 nominations, including Best Picture and a surprise Best Supporting Actress nod for America Ferrera. But filmmaker Greta Gerwig and star Margot Robbie were left out of the Best Director and Best Actress categories. Also competing for Best Picture are American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Past Lives, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. For Best Director, Nolan will face off against Martin Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon, along with the directors of Anatomy of a Fall, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest.
I need you here.
Lily Gladstone made history with her Best Actress nomination for her role in Killers of the Flower Moon.
She becomes the first Native American woman to ever be nominated in this category.
She'll compete against Annette Bening for Nyad, Sandra Hoolier in Anatomy of a Fall, Carey Mulligan in Maestro, and Emma Stone in Poor Things.
You got a nice color scheme.
But Gladstone's co-star Leonardo DiCaprio didn't make the cut in the Best Actor category. Instead, the nominations went to Bradley Cooper for Maestro, Coleman Domingo for Rustin, Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers, Oppenheimer's Cillian Murphy, and Jeffrey Wright in American Fiction. Danya Bacchus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Still to come on the MTN 430 News on Q2, on the way up. After a failed landing in Livingston, a local tow truck company completes a unique recovery effort. We're going to show you more of this in just a bit. And next, another pleasant winter day in Billings, but are changes in store. Ed lets us know with that full 7-day forecast right after